I muted all the people. Also, you, Mani. So we can start. Dear guests, welcome. I don't know, is there anyone here who don't know me? I am Bülent Öztürk, Secretary General of Turkish IR Society. I am delighted to host you, another institutional investor emerging EMEA Executive Team Survey Turkey chapter award ceremony. Thank you so much being here with us today. Before starting award ceremony and announcements for the winners, we will start the event with Amani Kurayim, Institutional Investor Research Director, responsible for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Amani, please accept our sincere thanks for this cooperation, and we are excited to deliver your speech on awards methodology and key findings. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Bülent. Thank you. It's always wonderful, and we're delighted to work together with TÜYİD. I think the last 18 months has been quite significant for IROs. It's been, I think, working nonstop. I keep hearing that they were working 24 hours, 7 days a week. So, and now I guess it's the time to really celebrate the fantastic work that went into it. And I also want to proceed by saying, you know, a big congratulations to all the nominees. I mean, there have been quite a few companies this year in Turkey. We'll go through it in a second. But I think it's been a fantastic work throughout, looking really across all the Turkish companies in terms of their deliverables when it comes to their engagement or very specific regulatory releases and disclosures. So, I mean, I think you can all, you know, pat yourself on the back. Job well done. I'll take you through the slideshow here, and I hope you can actually see it as it's moving along. I think generically, for those that don't know Institutional Investor, we've been around for over 50 years. We've really made our name through the surveys that we're conducting. They are known to be independent market intelligence surveys to really obtain independent feedback from the market, from the buy side and sell side, to help corporates improve their engagement with their stakeholders and their counterparts on the broker side as well. And not only to improve themselves, but really improve themselves based on competitor benchmarking information about their investor relations engagement and their C-suite engagement. And we run those surveys globally. So if you do have peers outside of your region or outside of your sector that you want to look at in terms of peer benchmarking and best practices, we have the ability to do that, and we're tapping into a global universe of buy-siders and sell-siders who are very regularly every year, you know, providing very insightful and actionable feedback that help you fundamentally improve yourself. The categories that the buy side, sorry. Okay. That was, I think, my echo. The categories that the buy side and sell side are evaluating, you can see them here on the screen. So it's the CEO, CFO category. Underneath those, there are specific attributes that the buy side and sell side are evaluating. We have the IR team with the individual IR team members, the IR program that is also broken down into specific performance metrics that are being evaluated. And then we have two separate areas, ESG and the investor event. In terms of methodology, we really haven't changed very much. So again, for those, I don't want to repeat or make it less interesting for those who know us so well. But I think the key to the methodology is that it's running a survey based on independent market feedback. As part of the ballot and the survey that the buy side and sell side are completing, we do not provide the buy side and sell side participant with a names list. So they basically, when they complete the survey across all of those categories that you've just seen, they have to put down the names of the individuals or the company to be able to rate them and evaluate them and provide qualitative feedback on them. So it's very, very actually difficult for the buy side and sell side to do. Nevertheless, the output for you, I think it's worth a lot because it mirrors really what they value and who they value, because that's obviously top of mind and who delivers the kind of value that helps them make informed investment decision. As I mentioned earlier, the universe that we're targeting in terms of the buy side and sell side is global. They're all fully vetted, so they have to also meet very specific eligibility criteria. On the buy side, they have to be either invested in the sector, in the market, or specifically for the emerging EMEA survey, they have to be invested in the emerging EMEA region. So that's very important. For the brokers, for them to participate, they have to have produced research on your company or on your sector. So there is a correlation there, and they can actually provide relevant and meaningful feedback on your company and on your peers as well. Now, in terms of the weighting, which I think is something that is always of interest, there is no weighting. The companies and the individuals are being rated from 1 to 5. 1 is average and 5 is excellent. So you can see nobody's really bad. So that's something to bear in mind. But the sum of those points added up, that really is quite important. And divided by the vote universe, that actually gives you your score, your market penetration. So really, how effective are you able to engage with specific universes? And then we break down, obviously, the data into various segmentations on the buy side as well as on the sell side. And of course, feel free afterwards or at any point to ask questions with regards to it. I wanted to also share with you the voting platform. So this is obviously something that is important for you to also understand in terms of background information and how buy side and sell side go through the process of voting fundamentally. So you have the CEO, CFO section right there. They go into it, and then they have the entire segment that falls under the investor relations program as well as the executive team. And as you can see here, they have to put the name down of the individuals to then go ahead and rate them. And they have to rate each individual attribute that falls under the IR program attribute section. It's not a generic evaluation, but an evaluation that is based on very specific performance metrics. Here, just a different view of those, and just to be a little bit clearer on the individual metrics that fall into it, because if you've won as a CEO or as a CFO, or if your IR program did well, you know exactly why that is. So fundamentally for the CEO category, and you've all seen the nominations within that, they would have actually achieved top scores within the leadership, communication, credibility metrics. For the CFO, it's financial stewardship, capital allocation, and communication. So these are really important metrics that help us really identify the top performing executive team right there. I'm getting it. Yeah, thank you. For the investor relations program, it's broken down into services and communication and financial disclosure. So ESG is actually a separate one, as you, I'm sure, have seen in the results we've just launched last week. For service and communication, we have business and market knowledge, responsiveness, the productivity of your roadshows, the credibility of the IR team, and the authority, which is one of the key metrics actually that buy side and sell side have evaluated and rated highly. So it's really important that you guys, when you meet your investor audience, that you know your stuff, that you know your market, and can speak authoritatively on behalf of the company. And then we have the quality of the earnings calls. The investor event is also a separate area, just the ESG metrics. For financial disclosure, we have those 3 metrics. And for ESG, and this is probably a change to the methodology, we have actually for the first year introduced those performance attributes. Last year, it was more generically, what does the ESG strategy look like, or how do they tackle ESG? This year, for the first time, we have actually introduced those metrics so you can understand a little bit more what they like and what they dislike. This is obviously an area that will be continually evolving, and we're continually optimizing it. Your feedback on that would be obviously very much welcome as well. And in terms of sort of trends and statistics, I won't go in too much detail because I believe that Bülent will be sharing the presentation with you anyways. But this is just giving you high-level information where the trends are. In terms of the overall survey, you can see here you have the number of individuals, countries, and sectors and companies that have been nominated this year. You are seeing here where really the trends are, where most of the votes are going into in terms of sector specification. I don't think that's necessarily surprising. Last year, we've seen that the consumer sector has actually topped the financial sector in terms of votes and nominations. But those three industry sectors are the most prominent one for EMEA. What is really good to see is that Turkey has the third highest number of companies being nominated. That is fantastic. And the second highest individuals of nominations received across all the EMEA sectors and countries, where 30 countries participated. And I think what is even more wonderful, and this is really important for you also to bear in mind, is the size of of the universe participating in evaluating Turkish companies. So we've seen here on the bottom right-hand side, we have seen actually a year-on-year increase in terms of the voters participating. So this is really quite important. The votes obviously would have been so much more as a result of that. So upwards is always good, I say. Now, these are more statistics. And again, I'm not going to go into detail, but this is just showing the breakdown of the buy-side voter universe for Turkey. So you can see based on the points that they have allocated, so basically from 1 to 5, where actually the votes have come from. It's really quite interesting to see. Obviously, we can see in terms of geographic breakdown, as we would expect, we would have a large percentage here in Turkey, but a really good spread across the UK, the US, and other regions as well. Likewise, on the buy side, with different band sizes. So we're looking at the 1 billion band size right here, where the majority is coming from. And you can see here in terms of the voting behavior, again, corroborating what I've highlighted earlier as well. So this is just giving you some insights. And again, you can peruse over this in your own time when you get the presentation, and we can actually go through it as well if you want. The second stat universe, if you like, is looking at the sell side. So again, you're looking here at the sell side perspective and their voting behavior. So you can see exactly where the votes are coming from based on the ratings that they have casted in as part of the survey. And this is really sort of the positive slide, right? So amongst all the positive slides, of course. So we are seeing here that the number of companies nominated has actually gone up year on year, and we've seen a slight decrease in terms of the individuals that have been nominated year on year. Nevertheless, what we're seeing, which is really wonderful, Turkey is actually consistent in terms of the market share it's capturing across the EMEA survey. So really 13% of the voter universe has rated Turkish companies. So this is really a positive result. And there has been also some improvement in the placement that Turkish company has made in the emerging EMEA survey altogether. So there's 8 honored companies, and these are companies that basically have published positions. So a published position is 1 to 3, top 3 basically position across all of those evaluation categories, CEO, CFO, and so on and so forth. And the higher designation as well that we're assigning to the companies is the most honored company designation. And we've actually seen an increase, a slight increase, but still an increase year on year of Turkish companies, 5 most honored companies across Turkish companies. So that's really, really positive here as well. Now, this is really all I have to share with you. We'll move on to the IR Awards, and I give the floor to Bülent, and thank you so much for listening. And again, if you have any questions, please, by all means, do approach me directly or, in whichever way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anami.
Thank you, Amani.
During the ceremony, after every award, please add all your comments with the related person or the category. Thank you. And this year, the large cap and small cap categories are defined BIST 30 and BIST all companies. And we start with BIST 30 companies. Our first category is Best IR Program, and the winner is Akbank. We congratulate Akbank, and on behalf of Akbank, I would like to invite Ebru Güvenir. Ebru Güvenir is TÜYİD board member and Akbank Investor Relations and Sustainability Senior Vice President. Floor is yours, Ebru Hanım.
Teşekkürler. Ben bir Türkçe mi İngilizce mi konuşayım? Onu öncelikle karar verelim.
In English, please.
Okay, we'll speak in English. First of all, I'd like to thank all the investor community and all the analyst community, obviously, for giving for giving us this award. Actually, for the last 2 years, as you know, it's been quite difficult in terms of the overall no travel, no face-to-face meetings, Zoom meeting fatigue, etc. But during this time, as a team, we've always tried to keep our motivation high and to also continue our communication as most transparent as possible. And I think that, as you know, last year during COVID also we were ranked #1, and this is the second year that we're ranked #1. So I must say that this is definitely a team effort, and I'd like to thank all my team members one by one by giving their names. İlknur, Nazlı, Gülçe, and Burak. I'd like to thank you, each and every one of you, for all your motivation and hard work, despite all the challenges that we've been through. Also, another thing that I think is quite important during this time is the ESG strategy. As you know, last year we redeveloped our ESG strategy, announced at the beginning of the year, and we've been getting increasingly more questions on ESG from investor community, attending conferences, etc. And so, therefore, I'd like to also thank our sustainability team for their non-stop efforts in communicating our ESG strategy and making it a part of our overall marketing efforts. And this is why I like to also name Feride and Bilgi. Thank you very much for all your hard work throughout the last 2 years. And this has been definitely incremental in achieving this award. And last but not least, obviously, our senior management, they have always given utmost importance to investor relations, to the investor community, the analyst community, and how I have always been, inspired in every single meeting as much as possible. And this obviously makes our job a lot more easy, as investor relations is at the heart of the company. This is very important for our bank. And I would like to thank them as well for all their support. And my only hope for next year is that we get to see each other face to face. And as we obviously miss you all, and we're keeping our fingers crossed. Thank you again, everyone.
Thank you, Ebru Hanım. Amani, do you want to add a comment?
Yeah, sure. I mean, great speech, Ebru, first of all, fantastic. And congratulations on the great win. I think there's so much that could be said here. Akbank is very, very consistent. The one thing that stands out, certainly when we look at the deeper data, is that the financial disclosure, which is probably, an area that is becoming even more demanding and challenging with time. This is where actually Akbank has really had a clean sweep across, those specific attributes when it comes to the financial disclosure. Of course, all the IR program attributes will have done well, but this is something that stands out for Akbank.
Thank you. And the next award, Best IRO, and the winner is Kerem Tezcan from Sabancı Holding. Kerem Tezcan is also our board member and Sabancı Holding Investor Relations Director. Kerem Bey, floor is yours.
I'm mute. Murat Bey, teşekkür ederim. Thank you, everybody. I mean, it has been an honor, and I'm very grateful for that recognition. I mean, it has been not even 2 years since I switched the sides of the table, actually. And specifically, that transition was extremely challenging because of the pandemic. But we try to do our best, try to be reachable and in front of the client under any circumstances, which I learned in a hard way from the sell side. And also as credible as possible in our disclosures, and also our investor events and NDRs and all the interactions that they have with the investors. Of course, it's not a single person effort. I mean, I would like to thank to Shule, my colleague, who's been spending a lot of time with me and doing the hard work, and also our management team and our board to be extremely supportive for the investor relations activities overall. This would not happen if they weren't supportive. I mean, we will try to do our best to be even recognized, not only individually but in terms of program and other categories as well. So once again, thank you for that recognition.
Thank you, Kerem Bey. And our next, sorry, we appreciate to hear Amani's comment also.
Yes, sure. I mean, very, very briefly, I mean, Kerem, congratulations. And I think one of the things that has been actually really appreciated by the investor community and the investment professionals is actually your experience. So there's a specific comment that relates to that, brings high quality experience to the role, is very well connected, helpful and proactive. So these are just a few of the things that they appreciate about you personally. So your background is obviously adding great value to your role, and again, congratulations.
Thank you. And the next category is Best CFO, and the winner is Türker Tunalı from Akbank. Türker Bey, congratulations. For yours.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank to all our investor community for considering us worthy for this award. At the same time, I also would like to thank all my colleagues in investor relations and sustainability departments. They have done a very tremendous job during the last year, like in previous years as well. And as always, we'll continue with our transparent communication to the investor community, so you can reach us whenever you want. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Türker Bey. And the last award for this category is Best CEO, and the winner is Hakan Binbaşgil from Akbank. We congratulate Hakan Binbaşgil and his team. And we will now list all companies categories and the best IR program. The winner is MPL Care. On behalf of MPL Care, I would like to invite Denizcan Yücel, MPL Care Strategy and Investor Relations Director.
Let me correct MLP Care. Anyway, a few words from me. Although communication methods have changed in the last 2 years after the pandemic, 3 things that we care haven't changed: knowing your product, proactive approach, and listening to your customer. Of course, our customers are analysts and fund managers, and these awards show that we are on right track. Small teams make a huge impact. We are a small team, and here I would like to thank my team, Turgut and Tuana, if they are here. Thank you for their contributions, and thank you for this organization with institutional investor.
Congratulations, John. Okay. And the next award is Best IRO.
Hazırım.
Once again, we invite Denizcan Yücel. Denizcan Bey, can you add something on behalf of you?
I mean, between you and me, we know each other very well here. We are right now kind of veterans of this profession. I have started the profession in 1990, it's been a long time, and since then we have built very good relationship with the investment community. Thank you for their support.
Thank you. Amani, can you have comments on Denizcan Yücel and MLP Care?
Yes, absolutely. Obviously, very consistent performance. So year on year, as you said, smaller team, but super efficient. You can see that in the IR program evaluation. You know, you've mentioned proactivity. This is one of the areas, the responsiveness. You know, you within the services and communication, you have actually had a clean sweep across. So this is really a strong point for the IR team. And I guess personally, similar to Kerem as well, they really appreciate your experience. You're very insightful and knowledgeable, you know your business very well, and I think, you know, in the pandemic specifically, your sector has been hit very, very.
Amani, you freezed, I think.
Oh, did I? Yes. So I don't know where I stopped, but congratulations to Dennis.
Only 30 seconds. Last 30 seconds.
The message is understood, Amani. Thank you very much.
So next award is Best CFO, and the winner is Burcu Öztürk. Congratulations, Burcu Hanım.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
You make our job very easy. We change only the years 2020, we changed 2021 to prepare the presentation is very easy for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the comment. As said by Amani, it's kind of consistency is quite important, which we've been delivering over the past 3 years since our IPO. So I'm very happy and honored to have received the Best CFO Award this year as well. And I'd like to thank to all who supported me in this process. I always start with my team and then our board members and investors and the analyst community. And I'm very honored to represent my company locally and internationally. And lastly, as a female CFO, I'd like to particularly mention that I hope I encourage many more women to be fulfilling their dreams and be more active in the economic activity in Turkey, which is very few right now as a female CFO. So I hope I encourage many more women and to see many more women in this arena. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you. What would you like to say, Amani, about Burcu Öztürk?
Yeah, very consistent with the other comments as well. And I think what Ebru said at the very beginning, I think that any company really requires the support of its executive management team. And I think MLP is really demonstrating that very effectively. And again, for Burcu specifically, across the board, again, very consistent financial stewardship, capital allocation, communications. These were all very, very highly rated. And looking specifically at the market score, I mean, the effectiveness is fantastic. So, you know, job very well done and many congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. And the last award, Best CEO. In this category, the winner is Burak Başarır, Coca-Cola İçecek. And on behalf of Coca-Cola İçecek, I would like to invite Çiçek Uşaklıgil Özgüneş. She is also a TÜYİD board member and Coca-Cola İçecek Treasury and Investor Relations Director.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Well, Burak Bey couldn't be here today, so he asked me to convey his gratitude and best regards to everyone. And so I'm accepting this award on behalf of him. Obviously, we are very thrilled to win this award. This is very important, and we think this is a real testament to all the efforts that was put forward by our CEO and the whole management team in this very challenging 2020. It was obviously a very challenging year, if not the most challenging in CCI's overall history. But after all, with all the proactive actions, we managed to emerge even stronger as one team. And as our CEO always mentions, we won and we became even stronger together with all the stakeholders. So during this time, we kept a proactive and open dialogue with our investors, updating them with the challenges, our mitigation efforts, how we are tackling with this crisis. So I think this was really appreciated by the investors, by being there for them all the time. So thank you. I'm accepting this award on behalf of our CEO Burak Başarır and the whole CCI family. And lastly but not least, I would like to also thank institutional investors, who has been one of the most respectful actors in acknowledging the excellence in the industry. So thank you to institutional investors. Thank you, Amani, and thanks everyone. And cheers.
Congratulations again. Amani, last comment, please, for Coca-Cola İçecek.
Yes, very briefly. I mean, again, fantastic congratulations to CCI. Top scores for the CEO there, specifically on the buy side, which is exactly your customer base that you want to please and make sure that you are, conveying your message accurately and effectively. So across those three metrics, again, for the CEO, top scores there. So congratulations to you guys.
Thank you. We congratulate all the winners and also nominated companies and people. So hope to meet again next year, but this time physically, we hope so. So thank you for all joining us.
Congratulations, everyone. Thank you, Amani.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Goodbye. Thank you.